All right, Truck, what's going on, man?
What's good?
Finally got you on. So, how's camp going so far?
It's been great. So, it's over now. So the last couple of days, so it went great.
So you just losing weight, or just getting ready for weight?
Yeah, just about to get ready for the weight cut and things like that.
Yeah. So how was the camp? It was a good camp. You got ironed out some wrinkles you had, whatever you had going on, and now you feel ready to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, definitely. Got back with Calvin. I worked with Ronnie in the beginning of the camp. Got back with Calvin. Got back in tune with each other and our connections, and just been working on being better.
Yeah, happy to hear that. So I spoke to coach the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm back. I'm back with Truck. We in Florida. We got some things going on." I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, let me get Truck on there because I reached out to you before, but I guess you was kind of busy, kind of tied up. But I'm glad I got you on. So I want to kind of take the interview in a different direction for people who don't know who you are. Where are you from exactly?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, but I'm from West Baltimore. But I like to claim the whole Baltimore.
Okay, and you now when did you start boxing? At what age was it that you decided to start boxing?
I started boxing when I was 6, about to turn 7. So I was 6, but I couldn't compete yet.
So you were 6, and then you started boxing. Now, who introduced you to boxing? Was it your family members or something you just wanted to do?
It was really like, so when I was young, my dad had passed away when I was 5. So like I had a lot of anger and rage, and my mother had 3 boys, single mom. So she couldn't really like handle me. I just get in trouble all the time. So I had
Hmm.
went to Vegas with my aunt, and my aunt was just happened to be married to Hassan Rodman. But I never knew like. But when I was young, I ain't know what boxing was. Like I ain't know who he was. So like
Yeah,
I went out there, like I'm just seeing this house and stuff like that. But I ain't thinking nothing of it. Like I ain't really like. I'm just a young kid. I ain't really thinking nothing of it. But my cousin, his son. Like I had went in the garage one day that I was just playing around, like walking around the house. I went in the garage one day and his son was like, "Man, you like this stuff?" I'm seeing pictures of him fight Lennox Lewis twice,
yeah,
belts and gloves and stuff like that. He got a Bentley. I'm seeing stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, like this was your father did? He like, yeah, like he fight. So then he used to be showing me like little things, but not too much, like just the basics. So
yeah,
then when I got home, so I probably left for like a year and a half. I was out there. I wanted to go home with my mother. My mother finally let me come back. I come back. I wanted to like she ain't know that I learned boxing. But when I went back to home, I got right back into what I was doing when I left. I just got right back into like just fighting. Like
hmm,
that was my anger. She like I would just fight. So then she like I'm taking you to the boxing gym. But she ain't know that I was already like doing a little bit of boxing. So when I went in the first day, I sparred and I looked like they were just blown, they were just thrown away because I had the basics already.
yeah. So Hassan Rahman, he was like training you while he was down there, or you just had different training while he was down there?
No, I ain't had no trainer. When I was down there, I was just like with them. Like I was on punishment kind of sort of like that was my way to get like my mother sent me out there to get away, get some of like the issues off of it because she couldn't handle me. But he was in camp. I can't remember who he was in camp with, and I was like too small. Like they was going to Six Flags and stuff. It was the summertime.
Yeah,
They was going a lot of places, and my mother was going sometimes too. But I was just so bad that I stayed back with him. So like I stayed in camp with all the older dudes, all the um all the Muslims and older dudes, and I used to eat with them. I used to just go in the gym. I ain't necessarily trained, but like when you pick up something or you keep
yeah.
seeing something, I just picked up. Like a week go by, I'm starting to hit the bag a little bit. 2 weeks go by, I'm learning like 1-2s and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Just picking up on stuff. They watching tape. I'm just around it, so I just picked up on it.
That's what's up. So you come back to Baltimore. How old were you when you came back to Baltimore?
I was sick about to turn 7.
Okay. So you get back to Baltimore. What was the first gym you went to when you got back to Baltimore?
Upton was the first gym I went to. It was the first gym. That was the
Oh,
first
Coach
and only
Calvin was
gym
there
I've
at
been
the time.
to. Yeah, he was already there.
Mm. So, Coach Calvin, he took to you right away, or you had different coach in the beginning?
Nah, at first they was my family was trying to figure out issue, like figure out where gym I was gonna go to and what I was gonna do. But
Hmm.
my uncle that passed away, baby Frank, he had just happened to go to a Tank amateur fight, but he was young. Tank probably was like, if I was 7'6", he probably 12, 13, something like that. He went to an
Hmm.
amateur fight, but they was cool. Like they had was cool, so
Yeah.
they got ended up getting cool. He like, oh, I can take him down there. And then he took me down. He took me to up there. So, but when I first got there, Tank had so much. Coach Calvin had so much, like going on with other fighters and Tank, that Tank used to train me at first. Like, at first he used to just work with me. I was real young, so like he had make me run or work out, and then he had just work with me a little bit, probably for like a year.
Oh, so Tank was actually training you on
Yeah, he used to
boxing.
train me for a little minute.
How old was you? How old was you at the time?
I was like 6 or 7. That's when I first got there, and then
So Tank
then
was a
then
trainer
Tank
at young.
told Calvin like, yeah, like he gonna be good, and then he started working with me.
Wow, wow. So now, do you remember your first, amateur fight? Do you remember who it was?
My first amateur fight, yeah, my first amateur fight, I fought. I can't remember his name. It's Anwar or Jabbar. They was twins from Headbangers, and I
Okay.
fought one. They was twins. I fought one. At Headbangers, they had like an outside show.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah.
how many amateur fights did you have?
Oh, totally. I had like 280, 300, something like that.
Dang, that's a lot of fights.
Yeah.
So, your first amateur fight. How old were you when you got your first amateur fight?
I was 8. Yeah, I
Oh,
was
okay.
8. Yeah, you can't box till you 8. You can't start till you 8. I don't know how it is now. I don't really know, but I know back then you couldn't compete till you was 8.
Wow. So you said 300 amateur fights.
Yeah.
Wow. And then, so what age was it when you decided you was going pro?
I was 18, about to turn 19. I was 18.
And I'm sure you can remember your first pro fight. How was your nerves on your first pro fight? What was going through your mind like with your first pro fight?
I was I was more so like I want to say I was more so excited, like nervous but excited, like
Yeah,
yeah, like it was crazy, like excitement. Like I can't remember I came out. I remember I was hitting pads. I was just like so fast and like just so excited, like. Coach Calvin and Tank, and everybody was telling me like calm down. Then I got out there, I just went straight forward. Like they just wanted me to calm down. Yeah, like
you
it
were
was.
trying to get a knockout. Or did you
Yeah,
get a
it
knockout
was
in your first
cool.
fight?
Yeah,
Yes, that's what's up. So you live it. You in Baltimore now. You know, Baltimore is a pretty rough city.
yeah,
I'm from Philadelphia, so we like right up the street from each other. So
yeah, yeah,
Baltimore,
definitely.
Baltimore is pretty rough. So how do you maintain the focus on boxing and avoiding the pitfalls of living in the city of Baltimore?
I like really my family. I come from like a street family that's known in Baltimore, but they kind of like encouraged me like when I first got into boxing. They
Hmm.
kind of encouraged me like to do that. Like, I was good at it, and I never really like. I seen so much that the family lost from them being in the streets. But when I actually like was like focused on boxing, they kind of encouraged me like to not letting me go outside, not letting me like the whole city kind of knew like I wasn't like allowed to like be involved in nothing.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, because I come near Baltimore, man, and even going to the gym, the Upton gym, just that strip right there alone, you be looking like
Yeah, yeah,
it's like
yeah.
crazy. Just that whole
Like
strip. Like you're like,
when I was young and I walked down there, like they'll stop doing stuff, they'll holler at me. Like it been like that since I can remember. Like they ain't never like nobody never tried to really persuade me to do nothing.
yeah. So ask you a question. So were you born Muslim, or did you embrace Islam at a later age?
So me and my brothers was born Muslim, but
Hmm.
my mother was Christian at the time. But my father had passed away, and like some like if some households, like if a father or a mom passed away or split up,
Mm-hmm.
you just take to whoever alive. You know, you take to that side of the family, stuff like that. So we wasn't Christian, but we was like kind of like, you know, like just freelancing. But then my
Mm-hmm.
mother had converted. I mean, she had got her shahada probably like I probably was like 16 probably.
Yeah.
And then I probably converted like 20. And then my brothers, yeah, everybody. Well, but my father's side of the family was been Muslim.
Wow. Because that's your aunt. That's your aunt is on your father's
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, man. So now, like I said, you come up in Baltimore. You know, like I said, that trip is crazy. So, how was your relationship with Javante St. Davis? You said he trained you basically when you was young, and I seen a lot of pictures. And you mentioned baby Frank. You know, that's your uncle.
yeah,
And I seen Tank post him a lot on Instagram, and I saw him one time before with Tank. I believe I was in Vegas. I think I seen him in Vegas with Tank. I'm not sure, but I think it was in Vegas. But you know, how's everything with you and Tank? How's your relationship?
I mean, I've been up here in camp with them. It been cool. It been great. You know, we just
Yeah.
trying to get better. Both got big fights where we
Hmm.
need to really show them who he is again. You know,
Hmm.
but it been good. It been great.
That's what's up. Because I
Yeah,
like to see that unity, man. And you know, Tank, another guy, Scooter Davis.
yeah,
He speaks highly of you and Tank, and he said like Tank is like a real, you know, type of guy who like to keep his friends and his circle tight. So it's good
yeah,
to see that you know you and him is still real close after all these years, man. Especially in this sport of boxing, which can be brutal, not only in the ring but outside the ring. It can get real, you know, political, as you know, right?
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Let me ask you another question though. So you go into this fight, you know, you fighting Jahad Tucker. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
What do you know about him and his skills?
I mean, I sparred him before. I've been watching like take one on when we was first preparing for him and got him. I just think he young, he active. Um, that's really like more so it. Young and active. I think he makes mistakes. He don't pick his shots, but I mean that's for me to exploit.
Yeah. So you ready? Like you know exactly what
Yeah,
you're trying to do in there.
yeah.
Now let me ask you another question. Now this fight, how important is this fight to you right now?
Um, it's very important. More important than like to myself, not necessarily to like like boxing world or place. I mean, it still is important, but to myself, like I was just going through so much with boxing. Like only people that be in boxing know like how boxing and outside life can go and
Hmm.
things like that. So it's a big fight to myself, like being dedicated in camp, really working out, loving boxing again. Cause like the stuff that be happening in the boxing, it'll make you'll just use the love.
Explain, like, give me an example, like you know, of something that because I want to educate the viewers and people out there who may not know. Because sometimes people look at boxers as like you just get in the ring and fight and go home, but they don't really understand that there's like you know trials and tribulations outside the ring. Can you kind of
Yeah,
elaborate and
it's a
speak on that?
it's a boxing's a dangerous and shady game. Like it's just dangerous. So I mean, I was going through manager issues at the time. Um, Promoters. I never signed to a promoter, so like when a fighter don't sign to a promoter, you're not backed by nobody really. Like you're not in a safety net of somebody. Like where you see a lot of these fighters or prospects, they have a tough fight and you would think they lost when they get the win. That's because they
Yeah.
backed by people and stuff like that. Like they somebody's banking on them. Like you see
Hmm.
it all the time, like where people could have a tough fight and they just get the edge, or even if they lose, but they get the edge. So I went through that. Then I went through death like with my family. Like I lost a lot of people from like 2020 to 2022. I lost my uncle, friends. I lost a set of my grandparents. It
Yeah.
was like I was starting to think like I realized I ain't spend that much time as I could with them because I was so dedicated to boxing. And still, like a lot of people don't know is boxing don't fully pay off in the beginning. Like it don't pay off. Like it don't even make sense to like somewhat like all the punching and rounds and camps you do to
Yeah.
not make a ton of money like early. So like I was just feeling like it was hard for me to get out of that, like losing them people that's never coming back. And I put so much time into boxing.
Yeah, I know, because it just seemed like, from my understanding, because I'm in the city of Philadelphia and I see a lot of fighters that you said they don't have backing, so they got to keep a job, they got to work some time, and it
Yeah,
takes away from the fire of wanting to get into the ring.
yeah,
Um, so how do people? I mean, what advice could you have to someone that's like, coming up like in the sport behind you and looking at you and what you're trying to accomplish or what you have accomplished? What advice would you have for them?
man. I would just like it's tough. Stick with it. You really love it. Like me, like I just weathered the storm and stuck with it. Like I never quit. So I would say stick with it. Value the people that you came with, cause most of the time they gonna have your best interest. Like they ain't gonna
Mhm.
look at you like no different. Like value people who started with you. I think that was something that I had learned too, because it's just like when people realize you good, it's just so much. Like you see people from like the woodworks just come around. Like it's just so much going on.
Yeah, yeah. Now, just to speak about value and the people that surround you, I interviewed Coach Calvin. We had an extensive interview, and what I learned from the interview with him is that he loves the kids and the fighters in that gym. He
Yeah.
loves Baltimore. So, how is your relationship with him, and how did you guys come back together and try to make this run for a title?
My relationship with him, like, great. But how we came back. I never was like away from like even when I had left away from the first time, he wanted me to like get better mentally. Like he wanted me to get away, like get my mind away. Like he always talking about how he want my mind to get away, because ultimately he like a father figure and he been here for 19 years with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he know he won't know like exactly how I feel, but he know to an extent. Like like when you know something that somebody go through, it's like he know to an extent. So even when I left, he knew. Even when I was up there training, he would always call and check in on me. But it came to a matter of time, like when all right, boom, I got back comfortable training and fighting. I know my skill, I know what I can do, but only him can push my buttons.
Mm.
Like only him can push me to that gear or that level, or know that I ain't like know that I can't stop at that. Like he know that I can have more gears. He know where to push me. He know me. So like only he can do that.
Yeah. So he know how to get the best out of you. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. You have any children?
No, I don't have no kid.
No kids yet?
Nope.
Oh wow. Now, how many siblings you got?
I got two, a younger brother and an older brother.
And so I'm assuming your siblings is like, like I think I talked to your brother. I was texting back with your brother, and
Yeah.
your younger sibling. I'm pretty sure they're looking up to you, like, and supporting you and get behind you in this event. How important is that? How does that feel for you to have your brother and your siblings in your corner supporting you?
I mean, that's great because that's all like in the urban hood. We don't really got big families, like it's probably like 10 deep families or less than that sometimes.
Yeah,
That's all I really had was my brothers, my mother, my grandmother. So like when my brothers and stuff with me, that's like my mother taught us that growing up. That's all we got for real. Like even if something to happen, God forbid to her, like that's all we got is us.
yeah. And one last thing. I came to the Upton gym one day, and I always tell people the story. I came to the gym one time. This is one day, like an afternoon. I come up, I pull up. I've never seen us in any other gym. I've been to a bunch of gyms. I come
Yeah.
to the gym outside. It's like 30, 40 kids running around the block. Then I go inside the gym. It's like 30, 40 kids hitting the heavy bags, speed bags. And then in the ring, it's like another 20, 30 kids in the ring, just like, then you got people, they hitting the mitts. And I've never in my life seen nothing like that. Has it always been like that in Baltimore? Is that something that just is in the water?
um,
Everybody want to fight?
it's more now because like like they seeing Tank do it, they seeing me do it, like they know that you can do it now. Like that they know that you can actually be something from it. So it's more now, but it was kind of a lot of us back then too, but not like how you just saying. It probably was 20 of us, but through the years, like streets happen, people grew up, people pass away. Like Baltimore rough, like it end up being like 3, 4 at the end.
Hmm. So, Another thing I want to say before I let you go, I know you're busy, a busy champion. I want to say this and wish you the best. Now, let everybody know your fight. Your fight's coming. I know it's in Newark. Let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, June 21st, this Saturday, Newark, New Jersey, ESPN Plus. Man, it's gonna be an electric night, man.
Yeah. So one more thing, man. One more thing I want to say. I
Yeah.
want to speak on one more thing about Tank. So I know Tank got an up and coming possible rematch with Lamont Roach. Um, I'm pretty sure that you're around Tank and what he's doing right now, and I'm assuming that he's really focused. And I just want to
Yeah.
say this to you, man. Stay close to Tank if you can.
Yeah.
Be around him as much as possible. Y'all. I see a lot of the videos of y'all where y'all were like younger and so forth and so on, and I can see the love there. I can see the support, man. Y'all should just stick together, man. Stay around each other as much as possible, man, if you can, man.
Yeah, for sure.
For
Definitely.
sure. So where can anybody follow you? Where can they find you at?
They can follow me on all social media platforms at Lorenzo_Simpson.
Okay. All right, you heard it first. It's TBIC, the best in sports entertainment. Thanks, man. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Oh, one last
Appreciate
question I got
you.
for you, man. One,
Appreciate you.
so your name is Lorenzo. What's your nationality?
Yeah.
Are you Rican, black? What's going on?
No, they be saying that I'm like Spanish or something, but I'm really not even completely sure. I gotta do that one day. Figure out like
So you
where
got the
my
curly top
family's
up there,
from.
man. You mixed with something.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out. Everybody think I'm mixed with something, but I don't know.
All right, well, man, listen, I appreciate you, bro. Okay,
Cool.
so look, man, whatever you got going on anytime, man, TBIC, man, we'll support you, man, whatever you got going on, man, anytime. And
Okay.
I'm glad you allowed me to interview you, man. I really appreciate you, man. Just stay focused. I will be at the fight there in
I
Newark
got you.
to support you as well. So, man, anything you got going on, just let me know, man.
I got you. Appreciate y'all as well. I thank
All
you
right,
a
thank
lot.
you. Enjoy your day, man.
Thanks.
Get the job done.
I got you. See you at the fight.
All right,
All
Assalamu alaikum.
right. Leave.
Expose your business to millions of potential consumers and clients. If no one knows who you are, you don't make any money. Put your logo here. Add your business here. They say when you're green, you grow, but when you're ripe, you're rotten. That means those who aren't moving forward is standing still. Marketing is everything. Grow your business today. Product placement, brand exposure, merchandise display. It's time to put your business and your brand in front of millions of potential clients. Call 267-534-5053. That's 267-534-5053. It's time to grow.